I love the hippie language that's been created, but it has absolutely nothing to do with the medicinal language of the scientists who actually studied the plant, named certain chemicals, named the receptor system inside of us in 1992. Raphael Mechoulam did that, God love him. And it is because of this ancient receptor system inside of us that all those cannabinoids will go to the places where your pain is.
Welcome to Season 6 of the Cannabis Truth Podcast, where we speak the language of cannabis freely and uncensored while educating our audience on safe use of this live plant therapy. You should know what's in your cannabis, what's good and what's not, because cannabis does not come with an FDA stamp of approval, yet. The information you will find here comes straight from scientists and clinicians, doing the work and reporting their findings in reputable outlets. Hopefully, we can inspire you to research the facts as we know them today. Cannabis is an amazing alternative in health remedies, with the potential to alleviate typical disease problems and troubling side effects, even those caused by synthetic prescriptions. Here now is the host of the Cannabis Truth Podcast. She is a 21st century cannabis shaman, not a doctor, not a scientist. Raised by nuns and wolves in the verdant cattle pastures of the Oklahoma oil fields, here to amplify the truth of this great big story of cannabis in historical, political, scientific, and spiritual terms, so you can make educated decisions about the medicine you choose to ingest. Please welcome Honey Smith Walls.
Y'all caught me primping. My grandmother used to always say, "Oh, go put your face on, you feel so much better." I think it's true for girls. Might be true for some boys, too. Welcome to the Cannabis Truth Show, where you just get all of me. Why not take all of me? Yeah, I'm here today. It's early. Well, it's not that early. I've been up for hours, but it's, first thing in the morning, and people are out with their snow blowers because we're working on 6 inches right now in Michigan, and a whole lot more coming our way. So it's really cold out, and here it comes. So we're all bundled in. We got food, we got wood, and we got each other. And that just makes it super cool. Ooh, I bumped another, I have several computers going on right here. And hang on, let me change that lighting. And, all the fun we have doing all of our techie stuff that we have to do to be hang on a minute, will ya? There's my teddy bear. I'm going to try to plug in without disturbing everything else. There we go. Wait. Plugged into the wrong one. Let me plug into this one. All right, so now you just get to see what a little bit of, behind the scenes and techie stuff that's going on. I've got a camera over here, another computer down here, and I'm just trying to make myself presentable. And there's nothing I can do with this Michigan winter hair. You're just gonna have to suffer with that like I do. But I did put my teeth on for you. I love these. I always heard my grandparents talking about their old friends who were getting long in the tooth. And that's what this necklace always makes me think of. These are horse teeth. And trust me, they look so familiar in my memories to some of my grandparents' old friends. Dentistry back in those days was not for everybody. Anyway, Today, I'd really like to talk to you about something that has already happened that I'm just about to do. That's because this is pre-recorded. And by the time you're seeing me doing this, I will have already done what I intend to do soon. Okay, here we go. I will have just finished my first masterclass on cannabis, and I am so thrilled to be doing this. I really, really, really am here and focusing on helping women understand how to use cannabis medicinally as an alternative to all the other stuff they've tried that doesn't work, and they're still looking for that answer to quell the pain in their hands from neuropathy in their fingers and arthritis in their bones and nausea from taking thyroid pills every day on an empty stomach and brain fog from all of the other chemicals you've been prescribed for IBS or fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue syndrome. You know, any of the other issues that you've got, and you're on medications. I know that you fight brain fog. I know that you fight mobility issues. I know that you fight muscle issues. I know that you fight digestive issues. I know that you fight sleep issues. And if you're going to go back to your doctor time and time again and report each one of these issues on top of the problems that all of that polypharmacy is doing to you. Girls, I just got to tell you, gentle plant cannabis and other plant therapies and other modalities of alternative therapies can give you relief. Hi, Honey Smith Walls here. I'm host of the Cannabis Truth Podcast, weekly for the past 6 years. But today I'm inviting you to a Facebook group called the Holistic Relief Summit, in hopes that you too will come for the peace and stay for the epiphanies. It's a beautiful space for women to find all kinds of relief from all kinds of suffering. Come join us for free.
Well, hello, I'm Dr. Philip Blair, and I want to introduce you to Honey Smith Walls. And she recently had an experience with beta caryophyllene.
For years, I've been dealing with lots of arthritis pain and pain from neuropathy that has not been resolved through other prescriptive methods. As an advocate educator in the cannabis industry, I learn lots of interesting information about the compounds within the plants, and one of those turned out to be beta caryophyllene.
What was your first dose like?
I was gobsmacked. Absolutely gobsmacked. It has given me my future back.
I want to get it out to everybody too. I want to get it out to the whole world, as a matter of fact. It has so many mitigating factors for all the stresses of life and pain and diseases. It is unbelievable, the spectrum of care that it can provide.
Girls, I just got to tell you, gentle plant cannabis and other plant therapies and other modalities of alternative therapies can give you relief. Now, I got relief through cannabis, and then I am continuing my education to learn about alternative measures. There's lots of them. There's terpene therapy, aromatherapy. There's light therapy. I'm working on see that? See that patch right back there? We're going to be talking about that patch one of these days. That's light therapy. And it was developed by your U.S. Navy some 20 years ago. And I'm taking advantage of this new science and new technology now. So, what am I using it for? Everything. Like, whatever's going on inside of me. Now, I know that's broad, but I've still got issues. Even though I'm in the industry, even though I know what I need to use in cannabis, I can't get it. I don't have access. Even in a recreational state that has a teeny weeny little medical state, I can't get what I need. It's just not here. I can't find it. It's not local. There's no standard. And all that testing is expensive. And then there's the government red tape to jump through and all that stuff. So I depend on trusted sources. My own trusted sources who I've grown up with in this industry, who I've known for years and years and years and years and years now. So you all don't know what I know. And you all don't have trusted sources if those sources have not been properly vetted. And properly vetting a source takes a global understanding of the industry and what all is involved. And I can pick out a company that is in it for the money versus a company who is in it for you as a patient. They have a real mission to help society. I can pick those companies out in a heartbeat. But that's because I've got this fantastic experience in the industry with all of these medical professionals that I've been hanging out with. Even though I'm not one, not a doctor, not a scientist, not a medical professional, but I have hung out in the medical professional circles seemingly since I was a kid. I was a nurse's aide in a big hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma for years. And in those days, those responsibilities were big. Wasn't just bedpans. It was lots of stuff. And my point is that I have spoken to doctors and nurses. I understand their language and I am not intimidated by their knowledge, so that I may ask them questions and they can explain it to me in their own terminology, and they don't have to, generalize. They can get into detailed specifics with me, and that helps me understand more so that I can relay it to you all who don't have that same experience in the medical field of language that I do. Uh-oh, I have a baby down here crying. What's the matter? Come here. Oh, here we go, teddy bear. All right, you come over here. All right. So it's really, really important to understand where your medicine is coming from in plant therapy, because it's a live organism that you're going to be ingesting with thousands of compounds in it. It's not an isolate like those prescription medicines you get made in a laboratory. So there's a whole bunch more to consider. And the most important thing to consider in all those thousands of compounds is the contamination that may be there. Thank you, Teddy. there's a way to protect yourself from contaminated plant therapy. But again, takes a knowledge base. You have to understand a little fundamental about, what's growing in cannabis and what shouldn't be growing in cannabis, like, herbicides and fungicides and pesticides and molds and mildews and heavy metals and that shit from God knows where. You have to understand. And then when you become a patient, you have to understand a little bit more about your body. So here comes some more science for you. Your body has this system inside of it called your endocannabinoid system of receptors. And that's why all those thousands of compounds, hundreds of cannabinoids, bunch more terpenes, bunch more esters and alcohols in cannabis, all those chemical compounds are like a shotgun blast into your system. And your system just goes, whoa! Sorry, my son's upstairs trying to sleep and I'm being loud again. Anyway, I get excited when I talk about it because I love what it does for me. It opens up my psyche. It calms my anxiety. It gives me space to think and be creative. It gives me space to focus on my future and the things that are important to me and what I want to do and accomplish. It helps me sleep at night because I know the right cannabis to choose before I go to bed, not the wrong one. I'm not guessing. I know. And that's because I know a little bit more about cannabis than most people. That's why it took me years to get to this point. And if I didn't know what I know, I wouldn't be able to help myself up here in recreational Michigan world, because they don't give you any information about the terpene content on the products up here that you buy over the counter recreationally. It's such a screwed up system, and I love Michigan dearly, but their cannabis program is just, it's just a monster to try to navigate. It really is. You're just out there in the cold and all the little bud tenders are just so snappy and snippy and they just think, that, here, buy this, whatever it is. And it's just awful junk, most of it, and not appropriate for you as medicine because you don't know what's in it. You don't know what the terpene content is. And terpenes decide your ride in cannabis. So, when they're saying, oh, this is a sativa, it's going to, boing you up. And this is an indica, and it's going to put you in the couch. That's just such bullshit. It is not... Those two names have nothing to do with the effects. They're actually the name of the shape of the plant, leaf. It's a nomenclature for the shape of the plant leaf, whether it's a full plant leaf, a big hardy plant leaf, or a skinny little shriveled up, long-fingered plant leaf. Anyway, you see, I get a little ticked off about the language because, and I love the hippie language that's been created, but it has absolutely nothing to do with the medicinal language of the scientists who actually studied the plant, named certain chemicals, named the receptor system inside of us in 1992. Raphael Mechoulam did that, God love him. And it is because of this ancient receptor system inside of us that all those cannabinoids will go to the places where your pain is, including your psyche for your anxiety. And if cannabis is making you anxious, you're not using it right. You ain't using it right. you haven't worked out the alchemy for you, because cannabis can be tamed and balanced, and should be. It's medicine. You want to have a good time on cannabis? Have a good time on cannabis. You trying to use it for medicine? You have to know some fundamentals. It's just that simple. So I put something together. And as I said, by the time you're seeing this, I will have already done what I put together for the future this coming Saturday. Can you see this? Did I flip my, oh dang, I didn't flip my camera. This is called the Wise Women Alchemy Workbook. Yes, I created a workbook, and it's free for those who attend my Wise Women Alchemy workshop, my masterclass. It's free. It's coming up on Saturday. Like I said, by the time you see this, I will have already given it, and I'll be giddy about it and excited to let you know in the future how it went. I love language. I do. And it's so much fun to sing it too. Anyway, the Wise Women Alchemy Workshop is just filled with all kinds of grounding questions that you need to ask yourself about what's going on with you and what you need for relief. For instance, let's start with your sleep. From 1 to 10, how's your quality of sleep? And then tell me why you think your sleep is so bad, or tell yourself that. Jot it down. What I'm telling you is to jot that down. It's really important information, okay? Just a few words, doesn't have to be anything big. And then more questions so that you can identify what your real issues are, so that we can begin to understand your real needs in cannabis. And so we've got a lot about that process, and it will walk you through how to determine your needs and what you're going to be using in cannabis. I'm also giving you my resources list. It's a short list. I've been working with the same people for the last 10 years. I know them. I speak to them personally across the ether on Zoom conferences all the time. I was with Dr. Dustin Sulak last night on his 2-hour monthly conference, and along with 500 other medical professionals and advocates like myself, learning about the latest science and discovery and cannabinoids that he has been able to glean and utilize up in his clinic. And he's got a huge patient load for the last 20 years in his private care office. Here he is, Dr. Dustin Sulak. And he and his wife just had a new baby recently, and he had his new baby in a snuggly on his chest last night because Mama hadn't been able to return home from wherever she was before the conference started. So he was just, loving on the baby, and then Mom came home, took the baby. It's so precious. This is Megan Bing. She is a precious friend, mentor, and I want to say business affiliate, like I am with Dr. Sulak as well. I'm an affiliate of all three of these good doctors. Megan is a nurse, but she has her brand new master's in cannabis, master's in medical cannabis therapy. It's a brand new science, and she's one of the first to have her master's in it. She is absolutely amazing. I've known her for years. I've known Dr. Sulak for years. I took his course. I have his certificate, his healer's certificate. Megan Bing, an amazing woman. You are going to love her when you find her on Facebook. But her business is called trustedcananurse.com. Dr. Sulak is healer.com. And then my third business associate, friend, and mentor is Dr. Philip Blair. Sorry, mental blimp. Dr. Philip Blair. He and I met in cannabis industry, and then he began researching terpenes more specifically, and then he found out what the specific terpene beta-caryophyllene does. It's one of the most prevalent terpenes in cannabis, and then he isolated it and put it in a liposomal form and began offering it as a product. Well, when I read the testimonials that Dr. Blair sent to me, and there were hundreds of them, I was blown away. And I was still struggling to find something that would consistently manage this neuropathy in my fingers and this arthritis in my hands. I mean, my hands feel like razor blades are running over them under running water. Doesn't matter what the temperature is. And so, and when the arthritis kicks in the middle of the night, there is no sleep. I need serious, long-lasting pain relief all night long that gets rid of the neuropathy in my fingertips, and it's on both my hands, and gives me relief from that throbbing, pounding, excruciating arthritis pain. And beings that our endocannabinoid system has probably been deficient for the last 100 years in all of us. I just want to be able to consistently feed my body enough cannabinoids and all the rest of the compounds in cannabis to balance whatever is going out with this arthritis and the neuropathy was an accident. So I'm really thrilled to be able to present my three, and Dr. Blair's website, let me just mention his too, is blairmedicalgroup.com. Like I said, I'm an affiliate of all three of these, and I could give you my affiliate links, but it's just too much trouble. Just go to the blairmedicalgroup.com. Go to trustedcananurse.com. Go to healer.com. And you can be assured of medically sound products that will help you in so many ways, my friends. So many ways. But it's going to take a little bit of education. If you'd like somebody to hold your hand, I'm here. It's so much nicer to have a friend to hold your hand through a new process, especially when there's all this science-y stuff going on. We'll have testimonials. There's a little monthly planner in here. I've also got a weekly planner, and then a little thank you from me. And you can print it all out, and it's real nice to have because it gives you all this really fundamental, personal, individualized information all in a concise little packet. So I'd love for you to come attend my next masterclass or ask me for the replay of this. Go to healingbeyondhigh.com and start the process to get in to register to see the replay for this. Once you go to healingbeyondhigh.com, you'll be into my system. So go there. healingbeyondhigh.com. And so that will get you into my system. And I would just love, once you go there, you're going to get all kinds of free things. You're going to get my free PDF that's cannabis recovery kit that gives you a whole list of things that shows you what might be in cannabis recovery kit. Just all kinds of things, except it won't be coming in my box that smells so good with live plants in it. Nope, it's going to be in a PDF. But it will be listed so that you will understand what you're going to be up against when you start going to try to find certain products for certain aches and pains or bumps and bruises that don't require a doctor dance. So if you want to receive my PDF, it's for free, and get involved in, and then get to my free masterclass. You can watch the replay on that. Or if you would like, I'm scheduling one-on-ones with people. I would just love for you to join me for a personal meeting where you and I can just talk about the stuff going on with you. And then we can devise a plan for you to start feeling better, like immediately. And it doesn't matter what state you're in. It really doesn't. But you know how helpful it is when you've got a whole brand new thing to try to figure out, and you're trying to do it on your own. You don't have to do that. I'm here. And I would love to help you. I would love to be your friend, to help you understand how to use cannabis safely and effectively for your needs, right? Because everybody's different. And nobody is going to be dosing the same or taking any of the same kinds of products the same way that you do. We've all got a lot of choices. That's the other fun fact about Cannabifactoid 121, I think it is. Cannabis is fun to medicate with, because we have so many choices, and it can fit into our lifestyle seamlessly and without notice by anybody else, if that's what you prefer. So if you like being discreet about your cannabis, you can be. There's just no problem with that. And if you're loud and proud like I am, wahoo, baby, I'll show you where the best mongs can be found. So anyway, that's it for today. I just wanted to tell you that I am so excited about what's coming up in the next couple of days for me, that I hope you will sign up so that you can register to see it in the replays coming up soon. It's been so much trying to talk to you today. I am just having a ball in this industry. And if you're interested in getting more into this industry, come on, have a ball with me. I'll see you all next week.
You've been listening to another Cannabis Truth Podcast with 21st century cannabis shaman Honey Smith Walls. Using cannabis mindfully as medication is a different concept in Western healthcare philosophy, specifically over the past century. There's a lot to learn and reconsider. The scientific truth of cannabis is finally getting out and is wide open for all to see at respected medical sites like the National Library of Medicine at pubmed.gov and the Journal of American Medical Association at JAMAnetwork.com. We here at the Cannabis Truth Podcast are right there in the thick of it, alongside the titans of medicine, as a fly on the wall. We are not doctors, nor did we go to medical school, but we have taken dozens of private cannabis courses and still engage in continuing education offered by expert cannabis scientists. Over the past few years, we slowly began to see and understand the bigger picture. Now we hear from people all day long about cannabis. It is so important to use verifiably safe products. The process of getting a diagnosis from your family doctor and taking your records to a cannabis specialist can lead you to the correct cannabinoid therapy for your specific issues. Otherwise, you're simply your own guinea pig looking for answers without the foundational knowledge or ability to determine your best strategy. To find a qualified cannabis expert in your area, visit cannabisclinicians.org. This is a national society of cannabis experts. Look for the link in the show notes. Unless otherwise proven by a reputable third-party lab test, please regard all street weed as contaminated. It may do grave harm to a patient with a delicate immune system who already has inflammatory issues like arthritis, IBS, fibromyalgia, or worse. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope you find value and understanding through the conversations you've heard on this podcast.